Okay, it's Blazing Arizona right back at you with another reaction video. This one, they call him Uncle Tom, but I don't think it's Uncle Tom. I just think he comes where I come from and was raised kind of how I was raised. And so that's like around a lot of white people. But the only difference is my parents kept me in touch with who I was as a black man. It made me proud to be a black man. Somewhere down the line, some of these guys, I'm not saying this guy in particular because I like this guy, but somewhere down the line, some of these guys lose their identity and try to assimilate to be accepted. Let's see what's going on with this guy. I think it's Officer Tate.
For those of you guys who are telling me that I owe a public apology.
All it took was some tears, not even a lot of tears, just a little bit of tears, to get America's most reliable Uncle Tom to come rushing to the defense of this Karen. Officer Tatum is the worst type of human being. Most normal people call out bad people no matter what race they are. If you are a terrible human being and you just happen to be black, we're going to call you out. If you are a terrible human being and you just happen to be white, we're going to call you out. Officer Tatum is so obsessed with white validation that white folks in his eyes can't do no wrong. Officer Tatum derides and panders to white folks so much that even white people get uncomfortable watching him. And a prime example of this is the...
Now, yeah, I did that the other day when I was watching. I was like, whoa. He say a lot of suspect shit, but it's like right on the edge there. But if you 100% down for any side, you'll see that, hey, what the fuck is this guy doing? What is he saying? Well, he's not really Uncle Tom. Because if you read the book, Uncle Tom was the one that was against all the white people and fighting against the white man. The person in the Uncle Tom story, which was actually trying to assimilate and be like the white people and going to the white man saying, hey, this is going. His name was Sambo. So this is what you call low black Sambo right here. Not Uncle Tom, guys. Let's get it right. Because that book became part of black history, black American history. So if we're going to do this, let's do this right. He's not Uncle Tom. That means he's a strong motherfucker fighting for black people. No, he's a little black Sambo.
Saya Massey video, where Saya Massey was gunned down in her own kitchen unarmed. And everybody in America, conservative, liberal, white, black, Chinese, it doesn't matter. Everybody in America came together to say, this is wrong, she deserves justice. And Officer Tatum grossly underestimated the compassion of his own audience. Just because they're white and conservative doesn't mean they're racist. But let's watch him in a throwback video try to feed racist tropes to his audience, thinking this is what they want, before it grossly backfired on him.
I think this is what happens when you grow up around a lot of white people and you try to be accepted. Now, the white people I grew up around, we was all good. I'm military background anyway. It was blacks, Asians, whites, Filipinos, you feel me? Everybody. Just chilling. We didn't give a fuck about none of that. You know, we had a certain social standard to us. They called us preppy, but I mean, we wasn't foolish. We weren't like this idiot. We didn't care about that shit.
I have to say, I think that this is justified, but it could have been avoided, but still justified. You can't throw boiling water on a police officer and not get shot.
The raccoon is strong with this one. You know you tripping when even the MAGA supporters was like, hey, bruh, that officer was wrong. He killed that woman in cold blood. He was charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder. He told her to take the boiling hot water from off the stove. She took it from off the stove, had it in the sink, and because she said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, he pulled out his gun, she panicked and ducked behind the counter, and he shot her for ducking.
She got...
Whoa. What? So the officer didn't even get no hot water on him at all? And she got shot? And this, well, I mean, nah, he ain't a Sambo. You know what he is? He's actually a police officer. This is how the majority of them think. They're all on the same fucking team. That's why when you see motherfucking George Floyd get choked out and black officers on the scene, they're not doing them looking crazy. So what? They're on the same gang, same team. So this is not a Uncle Tom or Sambo thing. This is actually a police officer thing. He probably still wants to be a fucking police officer with his country ass.
One hand blocking her face, this is the pot that she's coming up from the ground and swinging at the officer like this. If you ask me, this is a what they call a suicide by cop, which means that the person is wanting to die at the hands of cops, so they do something overt to make the cops shoot them.
Do you know how much of a bootlicking Sambo you gotta be for your audience, who are cop-loving, far-right extremists, for them to chastise you and say, hold up, bruh, we not defending no cop who shot and killed a woman in her own kitchen because she allegedly had boiling hot water, even though she emptied out the boiling hot water and filled it up with cooler water. We not defending no cop who lied on the report after the fact to hide his wrongdoing. We not protecting no cop who called that woman names while she was on the floor in front of him with a bullet in her head.
But you know who is going to protect the cop? The cops. And that's what Officer Tate is. Well, that's why his name's Officer Tate. Actually, he's an ex-cop. That's fucked up. He's out here. I hope he ain't out here in Arizona with me. I'll slap shit out that nigga. I see him with that bullshit. But nah, yeah, he's just a fucking cop. He's been trained and that's what he does. It ain't got nothing to do with him being a Uncle Tom or anything like that. No, that's his police shit. He's sticking up for another police officer's actions. And that's just crazy because guess what, dog? You ain't a police no more. You in the field with the rest of us. Don't fuck around and find out.
For her life. You know how much of a bootlicking Sambo you gotta be for them to go against you? Once it became perfectly clear that his audience were not rocking with him, that his audience are not gonna go along with this rhetoric, he came back. And this is when I realized that Officer Tatum isn't even worth addressing or ever responding back to or ever making a video about, because Officer Tatum doesn't have an opinion of his own. His opinion is whatever he believes them white folks who follow his channel want to hear. Because once it becomes perfectly clear that them white folks ain't rocking with the nonsense he spewed, he made a follow-up video attempting to soften his stance without truly copping out. Because, yo, you got to keep a little bit of integrity here. So he tries to soften up his stance a little bit while not fully copping out.
I just want to make this video to give a more detailed explanation of my opinions about this last situation, because it seems like a lot of people had a misconstrued version of what I was trying to say or what my total thoughts were.
It can't be misconstrued if it was coming out of your mouth, buddy. So let's stop that shit.
It's okay to disagree with me on the video. I don't mind. I'm open to dialogue. But when I believe that people are putting words in my mouth and things that I did not say, or saying that I agree with things I do not agree with, it necessitates me to make a follow-up video just to clarify these things, and then we move on. Because at the end of the day, I'm not indicted and I'm not in the casket.
Tatum is known to beat a dead horse. He's known to run a topic to the ground. But after he realized he miscalculated his pandering and his audience wasn't rocking with this was his last video on the subject. He didn't touch it after this. So when I seen that this Sambo Igaboo was making videos about Michelle Bishop and Mike Jenkins, aka the Karen that called the police on her black neighbor for simply letting her know that he lives at the house she was currently at, I already knew what his stance was gonna be. I could have told you the entire script before I even watched the video. I could tell you every angle he was gonna take. But the only reason I'm wasting my time by even making this video covering it, even though we know that those opinions that Tatum may have shared is not of his own, or opinions that he don't believe in, have no conviction in, or opinions he's just regurgitating because he believes his audience want to hear it.
Not true. I looked up Officer Tatum. And not that it doesn't make any difference, but he has a white wife. So, and being as light as he is, he probably looks at himself as, a white man. He's trying to. Don't get me wrong. Him having a white wife is neither here nor there. Shit. I got three white baby mamas, 2 Spanish, and I got a white girlfriend. So that's neither here nor there. But I'm still blacker than black. I'm black with no apology. See, I'm a black man who white women date because they want to date a black man. He's a black man who white women date because they want to date a white boy. Straight up.
The only reason why I'm even wasting my time covering it is because he didn't just cover and make videos about it. He took it a step further in regurgitating some very dangerous rhetoric that we have to discuss. Let's rehash the situation and break down what's going on. So Michelle Bishop, a woman currently on your screen, she was walking through the neighborhood.
Yeah, I remember this one. This is when the woman was on this man's property talking about she being followed. This is that white supremacy shit too. This is that white privilege shit. And it's crazy because people need to get a grip. I mean, that's letting you know what they think about black people. They're thinking that, black people shouldn't be in my neighborhood and black people can't afford this. So what is this motherfucker doing here? That is ill.
What's going on? You live here? Yeah. You do? Papa!
While she was walking, Mike Jenkins was driving home from work. She makes a hard right onto his property. So he rolls down his window immediately and says, "Are you okay?"
Now why this woman will mess with J. Cole? Everybody know J. Cole got money. I'm just playing. That nigga like J. Cole though.
Doesn't answer him. She continues to walk onto his front porch. So he continues his drive home. He gets into his driveway, and you can hear Michelle asking him, "Do you live here?" And he says, "Yes, I do." But apparently that wasn't enough for Michelle Bishop, who apparently doesn't know who Mike Jenkins is, even though they've lived in the same neighborhood for years now. So she says, "I don't believe you," and begins to run away screaming for help.
I don't believe that.
That shows you how much she's in touch with her, in tune with her neighbors. She don't know all her neighbors, and she can't believe that this black guy lives here, even though she don't know who lives here. Because when he came up and said he lived there, she said she didn't like, "No, you don't. Blah 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 lives here." And so what? This is crazy, but this is what we go through as black people on a daily basis in America. And white people, I wish y'all would see this more often, because the more y'all see this, because there's more good people, white people out there than bad white people. There's more less racist white people out there than racist white people. But if the less racist white people see this type of shit, they can put an end to this shit, because only white man can check a white man, and that's the only way we're gonna get it done, because we've been crying about this shit for years and nothing happened. So you figure if they see what's going on, which is dead wrong shit, which if this happened to you with your shit, you'd be livid, right? So what the fuck?
I don't believe that. Where are you going? Where are you going? Right, come on.
Did someone come here?
This is what's going on. This is what white women do when they try to get somebody killed. She wasn't in danger. Nobody threatened her. So why did she feel that she was in danger? Because there's a black man coming to his own house? And why she run down the street screaming as if the man was chasing her with something? Yeah, this is what white women do, especially racist white women do, when they trying to get you killed.
So she runs and screams like bloody hell in Bloody Mary. Runs hell, screaming for her life as if somebody was about to capture her and cut her throat.
Right.
So she runs over to her neighbor's house, let the neighbor know that she needs help. Somebody is chasing her. Her husband comes, tells her husband somebody is chasing her. She calls the police and let the police know somebody is chasing her and her children. The husband and her walks back over to the property. Mike Jenkins' wife comes out. They tell Mike Jenkins' wife, as you just heard, somebody was chasing her. This is where things start looking real malicious. After lying and saying that he was chasing her, that's the first lie, she follows up that lie with another lie by claiming that Mike Jenkins never told her that he lived there. Even though...
And this is what they'll do. They'll lie every time. I was in a relationship like about, 3 years ago with this white lady in Chandler. And yeah, so she was out there living that life. She's out there, you know what I mean, doing her thing. So I was like, all right, I'm getting the fuck up out of here. The problem is that she didn't want me to be the fuck up out of there because I brought a lot to her life. The only problem is that she had issues. She had cheating issues. And you know what she told me? She said, let's get my shit together. She said, I'll call the cops right now and tell them blah, blah, blah. You did blah, blah, blah. You did blah, blah. And you know why they're going to believe me? Because I'm a white woman and you're black. After she told me that, I was out, y'all. I was like, fuck this shit. But that didn't make me stop dating white women. It just made me more leery that, you know, this is what's going on. Like, you want to bring a black man in here, be with him, and if things don't go the way you want them to go 100%, you want to start calling the cops. And things are going the way you want them 100%. You out there cheating and all that shit. You know what I mean? Me, I was going back and forth to work, trying to be with you. But it is what it is. So guys, you got to be careful in these situations. But once that happens, or once anything even gets out there like that, even an inkling of that comes out, you got to leave that woman alone.
We heard him tell her, I live here, and she stated, I don't believe you, and ran.
Who chased her?
There was a guy in a gray truck and came around the corner, and I was in the street, and so I come up, so I just have my kids, so I'm like.
Now see how this woman's all calm talking to this lady? Because this is a white lady. J. Cole here is married to a white lady, which is no problem with that, but just letting you see the racism and the white supremacy going on here, and how the fuck black people be getting locked up over white people's insecurities and their lies and their cowardice.
Pretend that I'm coming home, and so I pull up and I start walking to your back gate, and he stops here and he goes, "Are you looking for someone?" And I said, "No," and then he sat here, and I was like, "I need to get in."
Well, that's my husband. That's why he lives here. Yeah.
Right.
He lives here. So he came in and said there's.
Now look at you looking foolish because you didn't lie.
You're not worried that some.
I'm scared the crap out of me.
How?
I'm sorry.
How did he scare you though?
I just seen her in the
He was
driveway.
black. That's what scared her. She's scared of black men. She think every black man wants to rape, rob, or kill her, and that's just crazy. So the way she was raised, not around a lot of black people.
Because I was pulling up out.
And I saw someone walking in our driveway too, and I'm like, why is someone walking in our driveway?
Man, got a nice little home situation going
She
on.
said that someone
And he was
was
minding his
involved
business
with her.
trying to come home for all this jump off this crazies out
I
here with this
came down the
bullshit.
street right here,
Yeah.
and I was riding slow because I'm looking at our Christmas lights.
God damn, Karen.
Well, you just have to understand my point of view. Being by myself.
No,
as a kid,
whoa.
I
We don't have to understand your point of view because your point of view is fucked up, lady. No, you have to understand other people's point of view. You fucked up in the game, but that's white supremacy again. You guys got to understand my point of view. What was your point of view? You wasn't in your own yard. Matter of fact, you was in this man's yard. So what was your point of view? That's nuts.
I was like, oh, it scared me, and so I just pulled up here, and I kept thinking, this could be his house. But you didn't say, this is my home. You just said, are you looking? And I was like,
I did. When you was on the porch, you asked me, did I live here? I said, yeah.
And you said, no, you don't.
And you said, I don't think you do.
It was obviously, you could tell that I was really caught off guard.
Like, I'm
I've cons-
Now she lying and trying to backpedal on this shit as if whatever she says is truth, knowing that she lying. And here go this coon right here. Let's see what Officer Sambo has to say. See, this is why I don't like police to begin with. And the crazy thing about it, I got cousins that are police, and they didn't get down this way. And either they didn't get down like this at all. So I'm trying. They're black men too, and 9 times out of 10. Usually your black police are your better police officers, not caught in corruption and shit like that. But I digress.
A lot of content surrounding this video and heard a lot of opinion being given on this video. I've seen some people watch this video and walk away with Michelle Bishop is a full-on racist. I've seen other people watch this video and walk away with Michelle Bishop is weird, a little eccentric, but they're unwilling to assume malicious intent. I've seen some people watch this video and say, this isn't a race thing, this is a man and woman thing. But what I hadn't seen before I watched an Officer Tatum video, I didn't see anybody watch this video and walk away with the conclusion that Michelle Bishop is the victim, Mike Jenkins is the perpetrator, him and his wife are co-conspirators, and they put all of this together to scam and ruin Michelle Bishop's life. Only Officer Tatum and that dense skull of his will be able to walk away with that conclusion.
It happened. And it's worse than you think. Like, this dude is such a fraud. And I'm going to point it out to you very clearly.
This is a disease. This is a sickness. Now, I know some dudes who love white folks, but I don't know nobody who love white folks more than Tatum, bro. This
That's Officer Ruckus. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with liking white people, but there is something wrong with changing narratives because they're white. That's fucked up. I mean, I like white people, and the white people I know like me, so that ain't the issue. The issue is why are you changing the narrative for white people, bro? What's going on here? Why are you not seeing the wrong that white people do, but you see the wrong that black people do? Clear case of single parent home, mother, no father. Look at him. He's kind of heavy, nerd. He said he played football, but for who? Did you start? Didn't think so. But anyways, I digress. You can just look at some coons and tell what they are. Like me, I'm from the East Coast. I grew up on military base. I grew up all over the world. Come in contact with a lot of different people. And this is the type of nigga that, you know what I mean, we used to tease in high school. He get no play. We just fucking clown these guys. And that's probably what happened to him. Look at him. He became a police officer. The only thing he has to his name is he's a retired police officer, and he's still calling himself Officer Tatum. That lets you know a lot of shit. You don't got a whole lot going up here and nothing to fall back on but that whole career. That's crazy.
a prime example of it. Only takes a little bit of massaging and tears to activate the raccoon chip in the best of them. Tatum loved himself some white folks, man. Tatum loved white folks so much, bro, that when he seen Michelle Bishop tears, he internalized it and personalized it as a personal attack on himself. You could just see how he's speaking about Mike Jenkins, the hostility, the hominin attacks. He now sees Mike Jenkins as an adversary because Michelle Bishop cried. See, Mike Jenkins didn't go looking for trouble. Mike Jenkins didn't go to Michelle Bishop's household. Mike Jenkins was driving home, and all of this hit him at once. But Tatum is now calling Mike Jenkins a fraud.
Now, goes back to what I was saying. Why white women start crying in these situations. He's the ex-police officer. See his reaction to her crying? That's the reaction to most police officers, these bitches crying. Except for in Phoenix. Because I didn't see these Hispanic police officers, Hispanic chicks come out here, and these chicks start that bullshit. They look at them like, save it. And I'm like, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Michelle Bishop cried. Now, here's the thing, bro. When it comes to all of this, okay? He says he's going to expose Mike Jenkins and make it perfectly clear that Mike Jenkins is a fraud. Now, I want to see this, right? I want to see the babbling nonsense.
I want to know how this guy's a fraud. I mean, he was just coming home. This chick was in his driveway. I mean, hollering for help and screaming all other bullshit. So how is he the fraud? This is nuts.
Tatum is going to try to put together to make coherent. I want to see how Mike Jenkins is a fraud.
If you pull up to your house and you see this woman with her kids and she's at your door and she's spooked, you would think to yourself, because you know you were driving and you saw her cut off in front of your house. You driving the truck. You look out at the lady and she's walking in front of your house. And then you pull up and you see her and she's looking like she see a ghost. If you're a rational person, in my opinion, you'd say, oh, I ain't spooked this lady. She's scared. Hey, man, look, I live here. Don't be alarmed. You know, my wife is so. We just moved in the neighborhood.
Idiot. That's what he did. He said, I live here. Dumbass. Are you not hearing the whole fucking shit that's going on, Tate? I hope they cancel your silly ass, man. I hope I see you in the streets, too, so I can have one-on-one talk to you and hope to get you closer to your blackness, bro, because that is crazy.
Don't be alarmed.
You
I
a clown,
don't
man.
know
You
what I
straight
did
clown.
to spark you or spook you, maybe me driving in the truck or whatever. But don't be alarmed. I live here. It's all good. You know, don't be at ease. Don't.
So we have to apologize for being black because somebody spooked and you did nothing but come to your home. That's that bullshit right there. This nigga, yo. Hey, I'm wondering how your wife is still married to you, bro. Cause I mean, shit, she fucked up that way too? Probably so. That's probably why you where you are. Got your first piece of white pussy, clung on to that, and now you think you're a white boy. Or you think you're in the club. You're not in the club, bro. Trust me.
You don't have nothing to be afraid of. You know, I moved this neighborhood, whatever. Say something.
So you want him to do exactly what he'd already did.
Right.
You want him to
You fucking
notify her
goofy.
that he lives at the house, right?
They're not too bright. This is why I got all these police shootings too. There's silly motherfuckers out here like him. They let anybody be a cop. Just don't have
I
no
don't believe
felonies.
that. I don't believe that.
I don't care what you believe, lady. You better get the fuck off my property before I call the cops on you.
I'm so glad that people with a brain actually watch this channel, because I don't really need to do anything but just play the evidence. You are telling him to do something to avoid conflict that he already did that didn't avoid the conflict. You telling him to validate that he lives there. She asked, do you live here? He said, yeah. She asked again, you do? He said, yeah. And she still ran off, called the police on him, and let them know that he was chasing her. So even the things that you're telling him to do to avoid conflict, he did. But somehow, some way, you're still making him out to be the bad guy and Michelle Bishop to be the victim. This is sickening, Tatum. And it just shows, bruh, that you are one of those people who believes that if Masa's sick, you sick.
Yeah, we call that a house nigga. You know what I mean? We call that a house nigga. And it's sad because I like to see where he grew up at to make him not to be proud of the skin he's in. Now, he'll say that out of his mouth, but his actions prove different, obviously.
Masa, you're sick? We sick, Masa. Yo,
House
I
nigga.
can't stand this clown, bruh. But the stupidity doesn't stop here. Tatum would accuse this man, Mike, of luring Michelle Bishop and her kids onto his porch by behaving suspiciously. And then when he got to his porch and see Michelle Bishop and her two kids on his porch, he connived the scheme on the spot to get internet fame and clout off of Michelle Bishop.
But instead, and this is just my opinion, I don't know this to be true, but I know people like this. He see an opportunity because his lens is everything is racist.
This is where Tatum exposes himself and really reveals what goes through his mind. His mind is filled with nothing but clout chasing, which is why he believes that a father and a husband would come home, see a woman with her two kids on his porch, and the first thing he thinks of is clout chase, internet.
That's nuts. Nah, why would he be thinking that? He didn't even know these people were going to be there to begin with, so that's bullshit. And all this is on his Ring doorbell, not on his phone, so explain to me how he was trying to get clout.
No, that man probably, bro, his heart is racing like, bro, I hope this woman ain't about to say those are my kids, bro. And then you go through the other motions, which is like, okay, is she in danger? Is she here? Is there trouble? My kid's inside. What's going on? Nobody is thinking of internet fame and clout, especially in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But because Tatum's entire world surrounds clout chasing, he believes
Yeah,
that
just put it out
everybody
there.
else thinks like this.
Yo, are you looking for somebody? I mean, and in her mind, it's now a suspicious situation. They squashed it, didn't they? It was over, wasn't it? She apologized, didn't she? This was a ring camera. This wasn't in the media. This wasn't in the news. Nobody knew about this.
This is the problem with pandering to one.
Well, reason why you want to put this out here because that's disturbing, motherfucker. And every time a white person is being racist, you should put it out there because obviously when it came out, it showed that she's being a little racist because it's undeniable. She tried to backpedal and say, well. No, bitch, you're lying. Shut the fuck up. And plus, get the fuck off my porch too. That bullshit.
And so much is you can't be honest.
Crazy.
So he's so obsessed with pandering to one particular side that he ignores all the facts. So he calls these people clout chaser and say, look, this didn't have to come online. This could have stopped there. These people are clout chasers for putting this online. But what he doesn't tell his audience, and I hope somebody from his audience watches this video so they can get the full story and the truth. What he doesn't tell his audience is that Michelle Bishop admits that she was the first one to publicize this. She was the first one to take to Instagram and go live. She was the first one to make multiple Instagram posts about this incident.
Fine. So I ended up.
So basically, she was doing damage control before he got it out there, but this guy was like, he wasn't tripping off no clout. He's got a nice house. He ain't getting money off the internet. That nigga, he's coming home from work. So what do you mean, clout? But here she is, damage control. Let's see what damage control does.
At home. And that night, when I got home, I had tears. And I was making a cup of coffee. And if you guys know me, I put everything on Instagram. I talk all the time. It was an innocent mistake. I felt really stupid. I absolutely was crushed I felt like they thought I was stupid. I already felt stupid. I truly felt stupid.
So here she is, the person that was in the wrong, saying that she was in the wrong and felt stupid. The person who did it, but Officer Tate still doesn't see anything she did wrong, even though her herself sees what the fuck she did wrong and where the fuck she went wrong. That's crazy. This nigga, yeah, somebody get him out of here.
I said to them on the porch, like, I kept thinking, like, maybe this is his house. And then, like, I'm running and screaming at the top of my lungs. And so, yeah, like, I felt dumb, for sure. So I went on Instagram, in my story, I still have it archived, and I, like, have tears, and I'm making a cup of coffee. And I said, I was like, man, you, like, talk about a night. I'm like, man, my night just completely took a left turn. And I was, like, you know, super scared. I was like, I'll have to fill you guys in later. So I went live that night. And then I went live again the next morning. And I have to tell you guys, I have been on social media long enough to know that there's a lot of scrutiny. And so by me going live, I was very, I didn't.
Yes, you were. That's exactly what you're doing. Because you're actually admitting it right now. you really are not that bright. You're really not the sharpest knife in the drawer, are you, shorty?
Think that I was doing anything wrong. I was sharing the story of what happened, better safe than sorry, how scary it was, just what I went through. Like, that's the only reason that I went live.
This is why nobody takes Tatum seriously, because his opinions just go with whatever he believes his audience want to hear. Tatum knows this video exists. Tatum has watched this video. Tatum knows exactly what took place, but he purposefully omits that she went live first. She publicized it first. This is why a lot of us would say that Tatum isn't somebody that's worth even responding to or engaging with, because
at this point, Tatum ain't in person she didn't want to listen to at this point. Because at this point, I mean, how genuine is he being and how much good information and bad information does this man have? That's what I want to know. And who the hell is he schooling with this?
Can take and stand a fool who is solid in his convictions and has an actual stance. But if your stance is wherever the wind blows, you are just an idiot. See, Tatum's stance is, if you publicize this, if you took to social media to post about this, you are a clout chaser. Michelle Bishop is admitting here that the night it happened, she went live and then went live again the following morning to tell her audience her side of what took place and about this interaction she has. Mike Jenkins and his family hadn't went live yet. They hadn't posted any videos yet. They hadn't publicized this yet. But Michelle Bishop, according to Tatum, got every right to tell her side of the story. But Mike Jenkins, the actual victim, he's a clout chaser, he's a fraud, he's a schemer for posting a video and telling his side of the story after Michelle.
Oh, so basically, okay, I see what's going on. So Officer Tatum, Sambo Tatum, he is out there trying to get clout off of these racist incidents. But it's crazy. That's nuts. You in all these people business creating a narrative that ain't even there. You feel me? All for clout. I think this guy needs people not to be watching him, and if we are watching him for this reason, to put him out there. I mean, this guy's crazy. It's nuts.
Bishop had 2 opportunities to do so before he could even speak.
But these people, and maybe a few other neighbors that had gotten involved when the running and stuff happened. But no, he got to be a victim. And I'm telling you, y'all, I heard some more stuff out. Some more people reached out to me about this guy, and he does not seem like a good guy whatsoever.
Let me get this straight. Mike Jenkins is a horrible guy because a few people told you he was, who are probably linked to Michelle Bishop. But Michelle Bishop is a good person, even though she has a decade-long history.
I call bullshit on that one. I mean, why are you going up looking up this guy anyway to see what type of person he is, or who did you talk to? Who do you know in that neighborhood that could have possibly told you this? And do you think that all information given to you is correct? That's crazy.
Of being a horrible person. There's documentation online on platforms like Reddit and Twitter that documents Michelle Bishop being terrible, lying, scamming, being a fraudster, but that doesn't count in how you view Michelle Bishop. Hundreds of people with forums and threads of how Michelle Bishop is a terrible human being, how she's a liar. That right there plays no part in how you view her. But a few people telling you Mike Jenkins is a bad person has convinced you he's a bad person. And I wonder why you're so quick to be biased. No, I truly wonder how someone turns out being the type of human being that Officer Tatum is. Like, I truly am curious. How does someone become an Officer Tatum? Because there's no way that this amount of self-hatred exists with any of.
Here's how you become an Officer Tatum. Go to the police academy and get indoctrinated and trained by them and just hang around nothing but them and listen to all the bullshit stories they got to tell about how they feel and see things. And you'll understand exactly what happened to this guy over the years. Over the years, they're like I don't never go nowhere and be just like police just hanging out in the club, hollering at bitches and shit. You know what I mean? I don't never see that nowhere. It might be somewhere, but I don't never see that nowhere. So these guys are in the bubble. His wife married him when he's a police officer. How many women you know gonna marry a police officer? Exactly. So this is what it basically really is. He's just I don't know. He's not happy to be who he is, but he don't understand that. Look at yourself in the mirror. That happens to be on the rise right now, brother. And you're not gonna be invited to the cookout. You keep this shit up.
I like everyone. Black, blue, purple, green, white. It
Exactly.
doesn't matter. I
Right.
like everyone. But Officer Tatum is so obsessed with whiteness that is weird. It's very weird. Bro is ready to throw away his entire reputation and integrity to defend whiteness when he don't have to.
Well, I could put it to you like this too. I think he's from Arizona. Went to ASU. I moved out here about 5 years ago from Maryland, and I noticed a lot of the black people in here in Arizona. Not all of them. Got some good people in Arizona. Good black people in Arizona. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of black people in Arizona are assimilating, and they seem to be trying to lean. You know, I don't want to say talking white, but because it's not talking white, it's actually talking educated, but talking white. You know what I mean? Not scared to use slang around people, scared to be themselves or dress their way around people, or even dressing like them. Like, I mean, where I'm from, you know what I mean, there's lanes for everything. If you skateboard, you skateboard. You wear Vans and shit like I did. These niggas don't be skateboarding, baby, just on Vans and shit on like that, just so they can look good to who they, or fit in with who they are or whatever. There's no problem with that. But the problem with that is, if you're going to be running around acting like Officer Tate, then I suggest you not be trying to look like a white boy. You feel me? Because that lets me know that you're really not happy with who you are. Now, I could be wrong. My opinion could be wrong. Fucked up, skewed, or whatever. I still got a lot of learning to do. But I call it how I see it and how I was raised.
He took the buck dancing and shucking and jiving on the road when he interviewed Michelle Bishop and her husband. Now, I don't know what exactly I was expecting before watching the interview, but I guess I wasn't expecting him to, from the very beginning, make it perfectly clear this isn't going to be an objective interview. He isn't going to go hard. He isn't going to ask journalistic questions. This was only going to be an interview where he's absolutely biased and he's going out of his way to defend the agenda or his narrative and not the truth. He starts off the interview even before hearing her out by claiming Michelle Bishop is here to tell the truth about what really happened that night, painting her as the gatekeeper to the truth and Mike Jenkins as a lie.
Even though after she clearly got caught in the lie that night. This is nuts.
Normally I just talk and run my mouth about certain things that I'm passionate about. But when I see things on the internet that are grossly unjust, I have to talk about them. And I know you guys have seen the last couple of days I've made videos about Michelle Bishop, who's a young lady that was at the doorstep of what I consider to be a con artist. And she was, in my opinion, honestly afraid because of the behaviors of this guy.
Now, how's it a con artist? He was coming home from work to his fucking house, and this chick is in his fucking yard. How's he a con artist, bro? You are sick. Somebody, YouTube, delete this guy's channel. He doesn't have a right. He shouldn't even be on here talking to people like that. It's crazy.
Lives there. And given the fact that he wanted to be a social justice warrior, in my opinion, and wanted clout and want to make it a race thing when this should have been over the day of, given the fact that he did all that and tried to expose these people and ruin their lives, I felt like it's my duty to make a video about this and continue to talk about it when nobody else will that much. And then I'm going to give them an opportunity to tell the truth about what happened.
So basically, this is all for the content. He's clout chasing for content. And that's crazy because I like everybody to watch my channel. But you only want to select fewer people to watch your channel, bro? What the fuck is that about? That's nuts. Fuck schooled you in life.
Gonna save you guys a lot of time here. They didn't discuss nothing that you didn't already hear them say in their own videos. Now, what they did do though, they did qualify, I guess, their actions by claiming, well, we can't be racist because we have black friends.
In our neighborhood, I mean, this is our community, and this is a small community. It's, you know, it's like a new urbanism community, you know, where everybody knows your name. It's like Cheers in here, you know, and literally like one of my best friends, me and my.
Well, if that's the case, how come she didn't know this neighbor? So you guys are telling yourself, you know your white neighbors, but you don't know your black neighbors, which is saying a lot because you went to this man's house. This man lived there for years, and y'all didn't know who the fuck he was. So you cut that lie out there, bro. Why would y'all cowards stay lying? And wow, really? Really? Can't stand cowards.
He's a black guy. We work out every single day together, dude. He's my business partner in here. We did vacation last year. Our neighbors right next door, you know, our daughters are best friends. She's black. So, like, to see these things and they know who we are and who our friends are and our very community saying those things about us, man, it was a case.
So here's the problem. You're only cool with the blacks you know. So any random black guy walking down the street is suspect? Because that's what the fuck you're saying here, bro. And that's not cool. I can talk about the hue of your neck. It's showing. I can talk about your haircut. It's showing. You're a goddamn racist. Why don't y'all just come out and say, look, my wife made a mistake. It was a fucked up mistake. Let's move on, y'all. But all this other shit that's going on, no, y'all proving that you're racist. You're proving that you have no fucking remorse of her being on that man's property and doing all the shit she did to try to get that man killed and locked up. That's just fucking nuts.
Ostracism, I mean, I've never experienced in my life, and it sucked.
Listen, do I know these people enough to make a determination on whether or not
No,
they're
you
racist?
don't. No.
I don't. I don't even know them well enough to.
But I know their actions, and their actions are showing me that they're racist. You goofy.
If the story about their best friends being black is
Let me tell you.
But what
Hold on. Let me tell this goofy motherfucker something. It's not about the actions, bro. It's about this, bro. Straight up. Don't forget that you're black and you're going to be somewhere where the people don't know you at. And when you get this type of treatment, ain't nobody going to be, you know what I mean, asking the questions that you're asking about these people. They're just going to go straight at your head. And I hope you get caught in the sun downtown so you can really come to your fucking senses about what's going the fuck on out here, you fucking idiot.
Do know, though, is that even if you aren't racist, that doesn't stop your actions from being foul and malicious. Even if you were scared in the moment and you ran away,
right,
and you got to a point where you are at your neighbor's house, you are safe, you still call the police.
Yeah, for what?
Told your husband he was chasing you, came back to the scene, told his wife that he never told you he lived there. So even after the fact, after the threat was removed, you called the police and did something more malicious, and then you lied on them. Mm-hmm. That right there isn't excusable by, oh, I was terrified, I was scared. No, the fear was gone, and you still lied. Your husband was by your side, yo was back at the porch, and you lied on him. That's where we say, okay now, Your actions is egregious. Was your actions based on him being black or him being a man? Probably both. Do I personally believe that you would have acted the same if this was a white man, blonde hair, blue eyes? I don't. Does that make you racist? It doesn't. You know, you probably have some type of innate fear, unrational fear when it comes to people who look like them. Right? But just because you are afraid of something or you have prejudice in terms of, you know, how you treat them, does that make you racist? No. All right? Racism means you believe that your race is superior to theirs. So I don't have enough context to, you know, to make a judgment on your racism. What I do say though is you did something really effed up and really egregious in the moment, you know, and that you still haven't made amends for. I'll be real, bro, and I don't feel like you could make amends for this. Now, is saying, yo, I have black friends a good excuse for your actions? No. Right? Because, bro, we know pedophiles kids.
Right.
R. Kelly
Right.
has kids and he still touched kids. So, no, all right, just like having kids isn't an excuse for why you're not a pedo, having black friends isn't an excuse for why you're not racist.
Right.
This is a really small community and is really tight-knit. And it's unfortunate that this situation has essentially tore that community apart. Hopefully they get it together. But in terms of this lady, Michelle Bishop, lady, you're unhinged, right? You know, you are dealing with trauma that I can't even begin to explain the way you behave. The way you behave is gonna get you in more trouble in the future if you don't correct your actions here and there. But y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this? Do y'all believe Michelle Bishop was racist? Do y'all believe she was just scared? Do y'all believe she did something wrong? Do y'all believe that Mike Jenkins is a con artist? In the words of Brandon Tatum or whatever his name is, bro. Let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think? And if you,
This is what I think. Just like with most white people, there lies just a little bit of racism there. You know what I mean? And because of the way she was raised and the disinformation she was raised with and not being around a whole lot of black people coming up, it's nighttime. Black man, run. This is what they think. Why? Because we're all a threat to them. Every white woman out there, not every white woman, but all these racist white women out there seem to think that all black men want to do is rob and rape them and kill them. And that's not the case when most of your serial killers are fucking white men anyway, and it's fucking dumb. Like the man in the white van. Hope he finds her ass. And then we'll see what she has to say about all that.